Hello everyone, welcome to my class. To continue with the fourth chapter of class 10 civics, that is gender, religion and caste. Till so far in previous videos I have discussed about gender and politics, I have discussed about religion and politics, communalism, secularism. Now in this video I will be talking about caste and politics. Now to begin with the topic caste and politics, first thing that we need to understand that all over in the world, in different nations, there is no such perfect society exists. Means every society, whether it is a society of a developed nation or developing nation, we form some form of inequalities in the societies, right? The inequality which is a dominant feature of Indian society, or which is a peculiar feature of Indian society, is the caste system, or this system. To understand this system, it is an age-old system. Occupations which are passed from one generation to another, over the time it became quite rigid and it became hereditary occupations. Moreover, these hereditary occupations are sanctioned by rituals. Now what happened? This system became quite rigid, and caste people belonging to one particular caste, they formed their own communities, and strict rules were made for them. Means different caste people cannot mingle with each other. They one caste people has to marry within the caste. So such rules were made, such difficult rules were made. Now this caste system is based on exclusion of or discrimination against the outcast people. Now outcast people, see, when the system became quite rigid, a caste hierarchy was made in the society, where caste hierarchy is a form of ladder formation in which the caste groups are placed from the highest to lowest. Means which caste is dominating and which is the highest caste, and similarly the lowest castes were placed in the society, right? So people categorized into different caste groups, they cannot have common interest. Now this became the base of the Indian society, right? Now the lowest caste group in the society, they suffered the discrimination and disadvantages in the society. Over the time, many Indian national leaders, they raised their demand to uplift the outcast or the downtrodden section of the society. They have done great work, like Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, Mahatma Gandhi, Ramaswamy Naicker. These are some prominent personalities who have worked throughout their life for the upliftment of the downtrodden section of the society. Now due to their efforts and due to other factors, this rigid caste system is now seems to be breaking down, or is practicing in a diffused form, at least in the urban areas. Now what are the factors which led to the breaking down of the caste hierarchy? Besides their efforts, like the education and improvement in the literacy rate, people nowadays are more educated. They give least importance to the caste system, right? Then urbanization, with the growing cities, with the growing demand of large scale production, what happened? People from different regions, they are coming to one place and they're working together. Such an environment where different caste people works together, so they give least importance to the caste, right? Now urbanization, improvement in literacy rate, education, occupational mobility, people from rural area coming to the urban areas and doing work together. Now such occupational mobility, people changing their place from one place to another, right? So somehow they are following caste norms in a diffused way. So the caste hierarchy is seems to be breaking down, but still there are instances which shows that directly or indirectly we follow the caste system. Let's take some basic example. When we are traveling in bus or train, we are least bothered to know about who's the person sitting next to us, and we never ask the caste of that person, right? Similarly, when we are sitting in a restaurant and eating food, we are least bothered to know who's sitting who's sitting in the next table, or who is the person of which caste preparing the food there, right? So such cases, such instances shows that somewhere the system is now breaking down. But when we talk about even the educated families, when they find out match for their children, then they do consider the caste system, because they prefer to do matrimonial alliances or to do marriage alliance within their own caste. So such instances shows that though the system is breaking down, though it is followed in a diffused form, but somewhere indirectly we are still following the caste system, right? Now talking about caste in politics, how the caste is used in politics, or how the caste is influencing the Indian politics. Now, common example, the political parties, they choose candidates keeping the caste electorate in mind, right? In every constituency, every political party, they have this thing in their mind that the maximum population of that constituency belongs to which caste, or which caste is dominating in a particular constituency, is a major factor for giving party ticket, election ticket to such candidate who belongs to the same caste, because they want to save their vote banks. Maximum people of the particular constituency of a same caste will prefer to give vote to their same caste candidate, right? Then parties using caste in campaigning purpose, right? Campaigning is prachar. Before election, when the party candidates, they go door to door, or they do rally work, they publicize their work throughout the past years. So they use caste as an agenda, that how much work they have done for their caste people. Now people electing candidates on the basis of their caste, people who are uneducated, who are people who are illiterate, they prefer to give vote to their caste candidate. Now these facts shows that somewhere caste influences the politics in India. There are, beside these facts, there are certain other facts which shows that caste cannot be cannot be the only single factor for winning the election, right? Let's see the facts. No parliamentary constituency. Since our independence, no parliamentary constituency has a clear majority of a single caste. Anywhere in India, not a single constituency we can say that people, it is having a majority of one single caste. So how can a person, a candidate win election on the basis of caste only? Now no party wins election of the voter of one single caste. Because if I have won the election, I can't say that I have won the election just because of my caste people, right? We can't say this. No party wins election on the basis of one single caste group, right? Then political parties put up candidates from the same caste. So some voters have more candidates of their caste, and some voters do not have any choice. They do not have a candidate of their caste, so they left with no option but to choose the candidates from the other caste. So such factors shows that it is wrong to say that winning election in India is just on the basis of one single factor, that is caste. There are many factors which are responsible for the party politics to contest election besides caste. No doubt caste is one factor, but it cannot be the only factor, right? Moreover, people these days, they do judge candidates after seeing their work, how they have performed politically, what they have done for the people, right? So all these things are kept in mind before giving votes to any party or any candidate, right? So these are certain factors which shows that caste do influence the politics in India, but it cannot be, it is wrong to say that it is only factor of winning elections. Now talking about politics and caste, how the caste is politicizing these days, how the politics is affecting the caste system. Let's see. Each caste group tries to become bigger, right? So what for becoming bigger, what they do, they merge subcaste groups with them. So merging of subcaste is done in politics. They incorporate other subcastes within them. Then various caste groups form coalition. There are chances that different subcaste groups in the politics, they form a group and they contest election together and form the government. When the question of forming government comes, then the politicians are least bothered to know the caste of other winning candidate. They just want to form the government. It hardly matters the person belongs to which caste. When they share a common platform, when they sit together in the parliament, in the legislative assembly, they all are same because they all are elected by the candidate, by the voters, right? They all are elected by their status becomes same. They are sharing a common platform, right? So whether they belong to which caste, this question becomes gets a least importance, right? They all are same at that platform. So this is how various caste groups form coalition, and it becomes easier for them to form the groups. Now formation of forward and backward blocks in politics. These the formation of forward and backward blocks in politics shows that how people of different caste groups, they project themselves in politics, how they keep their demands in politics, right? How they work for their own caste group, right? Which was earlier not possible because the downtrodden or the lowest caste in the society, they were not enjoying that political right. But now they are getting involved in the political system. They are having the common rights that they can also be a part of government. They can keep their demands. They can come in the forefront and manage the government affairs, right? So these are the things which shows that due to politics, the caste system is affecting the caste system in age-old caste system, which is a dominant feature of the Indian society, and somewhere it is helping to diffuse this caste system, right? At least in the political arena. Now caste becomes a problem when undue importance is given to one particular caste, right? Now giving undue importance to one particular caste results into the chaos in the society, because then if the favorable treatment is given, if the government starts favoring one particular caste, then the other caste groups becomes quite opponent to that thing, right? They didn't like that more privileges given to one particular groups. So it becomes quite difficult to handle such situation. So it is always favored that the government should have a very genuine attitude towards all the castes. They should the government should treat every caste group equally, because no doubt equality is the base of democracy. So this is all about caste and politics, how the caste affecting politics, influencing politics, and politics affecting the caste. Many times students get confused on these topics, but one thing that you need to keep in mind before attempting any question on caste in politics and politics in caste, right? first thing that you need to keep in mind is which word is coming first. If it is caste in politics, then it means that how the caste is affecting politics or influencing politics. And if it is politics in caste, then no doubt how the politics is affecting the caste system, or how it is influencing the caste system, right? So just go through these points, make your notes, and please like, share, review, do write your comments, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.